Hey guys, it's I, Becca Lori Hector here and back on a Sunday with Growing Gratitude. Super early in the morning because this is when I can fit it in. And you know what? That's what gratitude is about. It's about making sure, and that's what growing gratitude is about too. It's about making sure that you set aside time in your life to kind of really reflect on your week and take the time to be grateful for the things that happened that week. So I think, the whole premise of growing gratitude was that I would take that time once a week with you guys to share with you the things that I'm grateful for. And then hopefully that will grow the gratitude in my life. And hopefully that practice will catch on to you and you can grow the gratitude in your life. Well, it's working. It's working for me. So I hope you guys will pick up where I'm leaving off because it's working. I am aware and noticing the gratitude moments in my life it's coming much more easily than it was in the beginning. And so once again, practice, right? Gratitude practice. I talk about it all the time. And the practice of gratitude, when we move into it in a really committed way, can have profound impact in our lives. And I'm seeking that profound impact for myself. Hey, CV. And I would love for you guys to have that profound impact as well. All right. So here we are, Sunday morning, 8:00 in the morning. This week past was Thanksgiving week here in the United States. It is a racist holiday. No one's going to tell you otherwise who lives here. It was absolutely, good morning, Bill. It's absolutely a holiday where we celebrate coming to America and our first time having a meal with the Indians, the Native Americans, before we got them sick and killed them. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so good morning, Morgan. Now we do this day, and it's changed itself a little bit. And for a while there, we really thought that Thanksgiving could be all about gratitude, and yet because it's America, it's really all about capitalism, which for most people or most businesses, Thanksgiving now marks the last day before Christmas shopping season. And we have Black Friday. And I don't know, I feel like Thanksgiving is over and done, is what I would think. I think for a while there, maybe everybody would have grabbed onto the gratitude movement of Thanksgiving. And now this year it was just so different. The holidays were so different for so many people. A lot less pressure for people on the spectrum, I can tell you. But really a struggle for a lot of other people to not have their family traditions, to not see the large groups of people they usually see around the holidays. So it's been interesting. So Thanksgiving. Well, what do Antonio and I do about Thanksgiving, right? I mean, that's the whole question, isn't it? As a gratitude person and someone who's dragging him along on the gratitude ride, what did we do for a day like Thanksgiving, which was all about being thankful, about giving and sharing and that kind of stuff? So we did an amazing thing. What we did was we decided to use the food truck for a fundraiser for Thanksgiving. So we did. Everyone's off. It's usually people take the whole weekend off. That's what we decided to do, was take the whole weekend. And all we decided to do was work on Thanksgiving itself, on the holiday itself. And what we did was Antonio came up with a fantastic Thanksgiving breakfast sandwich with homemade turkey sausage that he made at home and sweet potato home fries. And it was delicious. And what we did was we had some sponsors who helped us pay for the product. Antonio went down and did the shopping and all the prepping and the cooking, and I handled the window. And all of our sponsors did nothing else but just give us the money, and I handled the rest of it, and Antonio did the cooking. And all it was a pay what you can fundraiser. It's been a tough year. Some people can't manage Thanksgiving. Some people can't go where they usually go for Thanksgiving. We don't usually do anything because our family is across country and we can't afford to fly back. And it's just the two of us. So we decided to use that, just the two of us, to give back. And we spent Thanksgiving from about 9:00 in the morning till 1:00 in the afternoon at a pay what you can fundraiser that we created. So basically, if you have a quarter, here's a sandwich. If you have $20, here's a sandwich. However many sandwiches you need, whether you're coming because you're alone for Thanksgiving and you don't have anyone else to cook for or have a Thanksgiving meal with, right? That you had someplace to go and something to do. And also that if you felt like you really wanted to give back, because it's been such a tough year, which is how Antonio and I were feeling we were just feeling like it's been such a rough year for everybody. Like, what can we do to make us feel good about the day? And what can we do to make our community feel good about the day? And that's what we did. So we were really excited because I had a lot of people come. We raised over $800 on Thursday in one day with 2 weeks planning. And that's, as someone who comes from nonprofit fundraising world, I know that that's kind of a humongous task that we pulled off. And I'm just excited that my experience in nonprofit helped us pull it together really fast, and that Antonio's ability to cook on the fly just keeps us going. And so our community showed up in spades and donated really above and beyond what the sandwich was worth, because that's not what it's about, right? And people also donated canned goods and unopened pet products and unopened hygiene products because we were raising money for our local food pantry right here in Bailey. So we have a lot of folks that sometimes can't afford extra things for their kids, or they're elderly and they can't get out to go shopping and things like that, or they can't afford it on just their Social Security, because we get, our little retirement payment that doesn't even cover people's rent. And so with the year in mind and with all the people kind of struggling in mind, that's who we decided to donate the money to and all the canned goods to. And our community really showed up to show the love to each other, which was what it was about. We weren't raising money to send it to some big national organization. We were raising money to help our community and the people we literally see every day in the supermarket, at the bank, whatever it is, right? And so our community felt it, right? And they showed up in spades, and I can't even tell you, right? Goosebumps right now, because this was my gratitude moment. Just so grateful to be living in a town where the rest of the town cares about the people in it. Just grateful to be living in a small town where I can do a small fundraiser like this and know that it is literally making a difference to my neighbors, right? Just grateful for the smiles that came and all of the gratitude that came our way. So many people just thanking us for doing it at all, for giving them a way to give back some way, right? Just an outlet for that feeling of needing to do something about this year, just needing to salvage some piece of it. And that's what we did. So it was a great feeling. It was a really great day. We came home, we had the baker that does our bread had done turkey pot pie. So we got ourselves a little turkey pot pie and an apple pie for dinner. And so we had our own little Thanksgiving that Antonio didn't have to cook after cooking for our whole town. And it was a really amazing day. It was a goosebumpy day. Morning, Nancy. Thank you so much for getting up early and getting here. But yeah, what an amazing day that was. Just an entire day full of gratitude is what it was. And it felt amazing. And the people who shared with us felt amazing. And we followed it with the rest of the weekend off, because when we do shopping for the food truck, we're all the way up here in the mountains, an hour something drive down to get to the Restaurant Depot and the other stores that we have to go to. So Antonio went down to do the shopping for the fundraiser only, and not for the rest of the food truck. And that's what we dedicated our week to, was sort of that idea. And so amazing. First of all, yesterday we did nothing together, and doing nothing together was so much fun. Friday, we did nothing together. That's what I should say. Today's Sunday already. Friday, we did nothing together, and I was grateful for that. And yesterday, we spent the whole day doing pet care. We've been so tired, the two of us, as we've gotten through this transition, that we kind of let some things slide. And the dogs were a little overdue for a bath, and the cats needed their claws clipped and stuff like that. So we spent yesterday with our puppies and our kitties, just taking care of them and getting everybody in order. And that felt amazing too. But that was my first gratitude moment. It was just that whole day, that whole planning it, hoping my town would show up and having them show up in a way that I wasn't expecting. Just the whole deal, the support we got from our sponsors, just really amazing. So that was pretty cool. Then I had this really kind of woo-woo experience this week that I'm grateful for, and I'm semi-hesitant to share it with you guys, although you guys are almost always on my woo-woo team, so I'll share it with you guys. So the other thing that I'm really grateful for, and I don't know if you guys are believers in kind of spirits and people's energy kind of hanging about you once they've passed, or that kind of thing. And I'm not so sure that I'm 100% a believer either. But I know that I really appreciate the feeling or the concept and idea that the people that are not in my life physically anymore are still around somewhere, and they're not missing out on all this great, amazing, cool stuff that I'm doing now, that I've salvaged my life and I'm really living it. And I hope that they are seeing it. In particular, I think always of my grandmother and my mom, because they were the two people that raised me. My dad wasn't around much, and my grandpa died when I was really young. So it was my mom and my grandma really raising me my whole life. They were my pillars. They were my my strength, right? And unfortunately, they both passed about 5 years ago and 7 years ago. So within 2 years of each other, they both passed away. And it's been tough. It's been a really rough 5 years without them. Done a lot of amazing things in that time, you guys. Oh my God, do not cry, Becca. Okay. I've done really amazing things in that time, and neither of them has been able to be here to share it with me, right? I haven't been able to show either of them that the things that they did teach me stuck around, even though I was stuck in that real misery place. And then I'm using those things now, and I did learn and I did hear them, and that I want them to be sharing in the joy that I'm experiencing right now. And so that part has been incredibly complicated for me, and I've been working through it, and it's just been like, every time I think about it, I think of the Alanis Morissette song, Ironic. That's all I think about. It's like they passed, and almost immediately after, all of the things in my life started to really come together. And it's been difficult to not have to share that with them, right? So what happened to me in the last week or so has been really interesting. I shared with you guys, or a week and a half ago, I shared with you guys how every morning when we're doing the food truck, I have to go on kind of that weird walk down our highway and put up the signs and everything, right? I do it kind of in both directions from the driveway that we're parked in. And it's a long-ish walk, and it's pretty isolating because there's just cars passing you. So I told you guys that what I decided to do is use that time in a really conscious way to really connect with myself, to really make sure that I'm grounded and mindful, and to kind of just give myself some meditative time to just think. Right. And even though it seems like the opposite kind of place where you can meditate and think, honestly, when you're walking by yourself, and maybe it's because I'm autistic, I don't know, that I can just disappear into my head a little bit and really get deep with my thoughts. As long as I don't have other people that I have to pay attention to, I can usually kind of really shut out the rest of it. And the other thing that I do on that walk is, as I'm ending that walk, I take kind of a picture of like the nature around us where we park the car, or the truck, rather, the food truck, and just to kind of post in the morning, hey, we're here, this is where we're parked, this is what the day looks like, come see us, that kind of post in the morning. So after I do this little walk with the signs, I kind of stop right by the little river that's right near where we are, and I take a picture. Okay. I do it every time we're at the food truck, every time, because it's the part of my job to post on social media, right? Okay. So I am on this little walk, right? And I'm going, and usually the longer of the two is usually what I get most of my thinking done. But I do kind of like the walk better to the shorter sign. So I was on the walk to the shorter sign, and on my way back, and I was just looking at how beautiful kind of everything was laying, because we had a little snow. So there was some snow along the stream. And, because the water stays so much warmer than the air for longer, it had steam coming off the river because it was so cold outside. And it was just a really pretty day. And I decided to take a picture kind of from that perspective instead of where I usually stand to take the picture. And I did. And I took the picture, and I thought nothing of it. And I edited it, and I cropped it, and I did all the things I have to do to kind of get it ready for the internet. And I threw it up there, and I didn't think anything else of it. Well, at the end of that day, I was checking all of my Facebook comments and stuff, and I had a comment from a friend up here in the mountains with me, and she said, look, somebody visited you while you were there. Somebody was saying hi. And I'm like, what is she talking about? And I opened up the picture, and she had zoomed in and put an arrow pointing to this bright green solid orb in my picture. Okay. If you guys watch anything about paranormal stuff or you follow stuff about spiritual things, colored orbs in your photos can mean something. A lot of times people really believe that the way what we become after we lose our physical body is just an energy source, and that energy source can be seen and felt by those of us who are still physically in the physical world, right? When orbs kind of show up and they are solid like that, it's really clear that they're not kind of dust particles, and they're not sort of an infraction from the sun, right? There's nothing like that happening because they're so solid. And the colors of them can mean things too, right? They can be white, they can be silver, they can be blue, purple, and green. And so this one was green, which we know is my favorite color, right? Green is my all-time favorite color. And green also in terms of auras and orbs is really a color of nurturing. It's a color of earthiness and nurturing and love and that kind of stuff. So interesting. So I see this green orb that she has now pointed out, and I am weirded out. So I will show you picture number one. Okay. This is picture number one. Now, I didn't notice it at all in picture number one. Let's see. Can you guys see? Yeah. Okay. So you can see it right there. You see that green orb? Can I zoom in? Look at that. Look at that solid green orb. Okay. And so there it was, right? And now that she pointed it out, I can't unsee it. And I kept looking at it, and I zoomed in to see if I could see anything in it, or if I could tell if it was a bug or something, right? But no. And so I thought, well, that's really a very comforting feeling, right? Like, oh, because I was having a moment when I took that picture, like I was having a moment thinking about how it would be so great if my mom was doing this walk with me and she could see it and things like that. So I took this picture. No big deal. 2 days later, I have to do it again, right? We're back at the truck. I have to take another picture. Not even been the next day, but I think it was 2 days later. And I'm like, okay, I'm at it. I have to do the same picture over and over again. No problem. And so I do, right? Now I'm at my usual angle, and I think nothing of it. And I take my gorgeous picture because it was a really pretty day that day. And I grabbed the sun in a little particular place, right? And I look at the photo, and you guys, it's there fucking again. It's 2 days later. I'm in a different spot. It's a different time of day. I'm sitting at a different angle. I'm in a totally different, like 25 feet away from where I took the other picture. Okay. So it's not like I'm recreating sun angles or anything like that is happening. It was totally different. Right. And I take this picture, and there's another green orb. So here it is. It's a totally different photo. Okay, you guys. And this one looks a little more blurry when it's coming through, but where is it? There it is. There's the green orb. Do you see it? It's just a solid green orb just floating, okay, in the middle of this picture. Okay, so now I just want to tell you, I'm an orb believer, partially because I think my heart needs to know or needs to feel that this is real, but I have to tell you, it is the same exact color, the same solidness, the same size, and the same exact color in both photos. Okay. It is insane to me. So I think I'm on to something. I think the walks are for this purpose, and I think I need to use them more specifically, more intently, with more intention, right? Because if someone who loves me is floating around and listening to what it is that I'm thinking about, is just around me in those thoughts at that time, because that's when I think I'm probably most accessible as a soul, accessible as a spiritual person, right? Is when I'm in that meditative state, when I'm deeply focused on the things that I have to work on to be in alignment, right? I'm very much present, focused, accounted for, mindful, right? And that's when these things are appearing. They're not appearing in my other photos. They're not appearing here at the house. They're not appearing anywhere else except for when I'm spending this particular time. And so for me, I'm grateful that, that I have someone in my life that would have even pointed it out to me, who would take the risk to do so very publicly on Facebook, whether or not other people believe in spirits and that kind of thing, in spirit visits. So I'm grateful to her so much for pointing it out in the first photo, so I was even open to seeing it in the second photo. And I hope it's my mom or my grandma, but it could be a host of other people who I loved as well that have passed. And frankly, I would take a visit from any of them. So that's how I see it. And the orbs made me grateful for knowing well enough to take that time to use it wisely and not waste it worrying and complaining about walking and how cold it is in the morning and all of those things, but instead taking advantage of that time and using it in a way that's in alignment with my life. And walking that path led me directly to these lovely visits from whomever they are, right? And allowing me a little bit more connection, right? And a little bit more awareness and a little bit more openness and kindness and love. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this little orb experience, because I needed it in my life. The universe knew that, and they sent them. So those are my giant gratitudes for this week. They are huge to me. They are things I never thought I would be grateful for. They are things I didn't think I'd have in my life. And so because of that, I want to take today and be grateful for those things. I hope you guys will take some time today, and think about your life. Think about the gratitude that you can find in your life, because when you show up with an attitude of gratitude, the world opens to you. And it's the dumbest, rhymey, stupid thing. And I swear to you guys, I just this week have finalized some ideas about the Redbubble store, because this is the stuff, these are the reminders we need. We need them in a journal. We need them in a calendar. We need them on note cards. We need these little reminders, right? That it's not your door, that you have, excuse me, that an attitude of gratitude carries you through, right? And it opens up the world to us. So I'm working on that stuff, because we need those backup supports. I need them too, those visuals. And so I thank you. I thank you for taking some time on this Sunday, very early in the morning for many of us, to take some time and hear my gratitude and the things that I'm grateful for this week. And I hope that you guys will take some time now and think about your week and the things that you should pause to be grateful for today. And if you haven't found one, spend today either creating one or finding one, right? That's on you, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed my little story time and my gratitude moments from this week. I hope you will go and collect your own. I will see you guys on Tuesday for Being Back Alive, where we talk about the struggles and challenges of being an adult autistic alive right now. And we talk about that in conjunction with the stuff from the course Self-Defined Living that I teach, that I'm proud of. And I hope you guys will go check that out. I love hearing from you guys. I love that I do Growing Gratitude with absolutely no sharing and no social media involvement whatsoever. Your views tell me that it's a good thing. So keep watching, keep sharing, keep giving me your thumbs up, because it helps me know whether I should keep doing this or not. I love hearing your comments. I love hearing back from you guys. So please feel free to comment wherever you're seeing this video, or you can always email me directly at info@BeccaLaurie.com, and that's LORY.com. My course is there, my social media is there, all of it is there. You can sign up for the free newsletter there. But mostly, I would love to hear from you guys and know if Growing Gratitude is working for growing the gratitude in your life, because it's working for me. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your Sunday. Do something amazing with it. Create some joy, share some joy. And I will see you on Tuesday, if I don't see you out on the interwebs sometime before that. I'll see you guys. Have a really great, amazing Sunday. And I hope you have some orbs floating around in your life today. Keep an eye out for them. Have an amazing day, you guys. Love you tons. I will see you on Tuesday. Bye.